Hi everybody, welcome to our first YouTube video. If you're unfamiliar with us, my name is Morgan. I run the TikTok page at Morgremlin that has Stella and Jeff, the two birds. Jeff is probably going to be hanging out with us for most of the video. Stella's really loud, so Stella's going to be in the other room for now. But I will introduce you if you're new. Thank you for joining. This is just going to be a Q&A video, or me just kind of chatting because still figuring YouTube out. I also apologize that it's really echoey in here. I promise I'm surrounded by furniture. I just live in a really big loft and I don't have a mic. So I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. If you're coming over from TikTok at Morgremlin is basically a space where I just share bird content, which I love doing. I love sharing the birds with you, but I really want to make this YouTube page into something that's fun for me, because making a bunch of really long bird videos just isn't something that I can see myself doing, because I'm not a parrot rescue. I just have my two birds that I'm familiar with. So I don't want to share a bunch of information about like bird care and then have that be wrong when there is like much better sources that you can go to for bird care. So this YouTube channel is going to be like a mix of like things that I'm interested in, like tattoos, plants, birds, clothes, jewelry, video games, anime, things like that. And the TikTok is just gonna stay bird content. So if you're just here for the birds, please just follow me on TikTok. That's totally fine. But if you're here to learn more about like me and my interests, while also having appearances from the birds and having a couple bird videos thrown in here and there, please follow our page. You can hear Stella talking in the background. You're probably gonna hear Stella chatting a little bit throughout all of this. So I'll introduce myself. My name is Morgan. I'm 25 years old. I live in Philadelphia with my birds, and Tyler, my fiance, who's currently at work when I'm making this video. But if you wanna meet Tyler, you can head on over to TikTok and introduce him there. This is Jeff. He is my black-capped conure. He's an absolute angel. He's super chill. He doesn't really say much. He just kind of hangs out, and he'll probably be with me for most of this video. Stella, who is my Indian ringneck. I'll introduce you guys in a minute. I had to take a different clip for this video to introduce Stella because Stella has been screaming all day. And with the echo and Stella screaming, I'm sure that you just didn't want to hear that. So I'll add that in now. This is Stella. You see Stella on a lot of the TikToks. Stella's the one that talks and says a bunch of things. The most frequently asked question / statement that I get on the page is, do you know that Stella's male? Yes, I know that Stella's male. For those of you who are unfamiliar, the ring around Stella's neck means that Stella is male. Indeed, ringnecks get that ring when they mature, and that's how you can tell their gender. No, I'm not changing Stella's name. It doesn't matter. It also doesn't matter what pronouns that you use, because Stella's a bird. Stella says, good girl, because I thought Stella was a girl when I got him, and things are just gonna stay that way, and if you don't like that, you can get over it. Also, I deal with this a lot on my TikTok account, where people say very transphobic things just because I won't change Stella's name to something that is a male name. Or they'll comment underneath people who say, oh, she's so cute, and they'll comment he with an asterisk. Or say, you know that's a male bird, right? Like, and I hate when I comment back to these people and I'm like, yeah, I know Stella's male. Like, Stella learned good girl and got his name when he was a baby prior to like me knowing that Stella was male. And they're like, oh, sorry, I was just trying to be helpful. Like, don't gaslight me. Like, you weren't trying to be helpful. You were just being rude. There is no reason to be rude to me or to people for enjoying a cute bird video. All of that out of the way, I guess we can start like answering some Q&A stuff now. If this stuff pops up in the future and the answer is on this Q&A video, I'm just gonna send people to this video, because like on TikTok, I answer the same 5 questions over and over and over again because people on the internet can't figure out how to just read other people's comments. So I have my iPad here with some of the questions that I get asked a lot. So I already answered our most frequently asked question when I introduced Stella to all of you about Stella being male, so we're just gonna move past that. And I have a couple more questions, so let's see. Okay, so the first question is, do I clip their wings? No, I do not clip their wings. I've answered this on TikTok, but I think that wing clipping is cruel because birds should be able to fly. That's what they do naturally. Both of my birds can fly. I've had some people try and like call me out on TikTok and say, well, I never see your birds flying. Their wings must be clipped. It's like, no, you never see my birds flying because that would be a really boring TikTok and nobody would watch it. There are videos of Stella flying up to the loft with his toys that you can find. Jeff can also fly. Their wings are not clipped. Jeff has all of his flight feathers. See? I did not hurt him, do not worry. They can fly wherever they want. They just choose to hang out with me, and I don't post them flying that much on TikTok because it's boring. If you need more information about clipping of feathers, please go see a trained professional like a vet or somebody. I don't support doing it, but you can make your own decision about that for your bird. All right, next question. Did I have any birds before Stella and Jeff? So as an adult, Stella and Jeff were my first two birds. I got Stella in 2015 and Jeff in 2016, although I did grow up with budgies. My mom had them, so I was familiar with birds prior to getting birds. Okay, here's another really good one that I get asked all the time. Do they poop all over the house? So, Jeffrey is potty trained. Jeff, for the most part, knows that he should only poop on his cage. Yes, he does have some accidents, but Jeff is trained where if I picked him up right now and tossed him, because he can fly, to his cage, he would go to his cage, he would go to the bathroom, and then he would come back to me. I did that by holding Jeff near his cage, around his cage, places that he was allowed to go to the bathroom, and just telling him to go poopies. So I said, go poopies, Jeff. And eventually, after he went, then I would reward him with seat. So then he learned that he should be pooping in those areas. It was a very long process. Stella is not potty trained just because Stella's a menace to society, and it would just be extremely hard to potty train Stella. It's so hard to train Stella to just do the most simple things like stepping up, just because he was abused as a baby. So yes, Stella basically poops not all over. It's not like the birds outside where they're flying and just like pooping on your head. Like, they go where they hang out. So if Stella's on the carpet, sometimes Stella will poop on the carpet. If Stella's like sitting on the back of the couch, sometimes accidents happen on the back of the couch. Luckily, bird poop is very easy to clean up. So we just clean it up and move on. It's not something that grosses me or Tyler out anymore. It's just like a fact of our everyday lives. And they're not going every like 5 minutes. And a lot of the time, Stella likes to hang out on the top of his cage and eat, and he'll end up going up there. So I hope that answers that question for you, because I do get asked that one all the time. All right, another question that I get asked a lot is what is on Stella's leg? I did make a video on TikTok about this, but Stella's has a band around one of his legs. Jeff does not. It's called a breeder identification band, and from what my vet told me, it is required in some states. And she said just to keep it on. Stella doesn't peck at it, bite it, rub it, like nothing. Stella is totally fine with the band. It's not rubbing Stella's leg. There has been no issues with it whatsoever since 2015 when I got Stella. So we just keep it on just in case we move somewhere where something like that were to be required, then I wouldn't have to put it back on the bird. Oh, okay. Another good question that I get a lot is, where do I get the birds and how much do they cost? And I don't answer this question for multiple reasons. First, a lot of the people who are asking me this question are children. If you are a child, do not get a bird. You're relying on your parent to basically care for that animal, and if your parent doesn't want to care for it, you, as a child, do not have the capacity to care for a bird. I know some people might disagree with me on that, but you just don't. Like, kids are off doing sports and school and all this stuff, and birds need like around-the-clock care. So if you're not going to be home to care for your bird, it's basically left up to your parent, and if your parent doesn't want to care for the bird, then the bird is stuck in their cage for hours on end and eventually rehomed or neglected, and bad things happen to birds that way. Lots and lots of birds are rehomed because people get them and do not understand just the sheer amount of care and lifestyle changes that you have to go through to have a bird. So I don't answer questions about where to get one or how much they cost, because if you do your research and you're serious about getting a bird, you'll know the answer to those questions based on the area that you're in. But I don't want people getting birds just because they see cute birds on TikTok. Like, You guys see the 10% of the time that Stella is cute and adorable and being good, but Stella is a menace to society. The other 90%. I get bit, I get attacked. Like, Stella is just honestly not that great of an animal, but I love him and I like want the best for him, especially because he was abused by the breeder who had him before me. So I just want to give him the best life, so I put up with his nonsense. But I know that like Stella would be rehomed by lots and lots of people just because of his aggression. So if you want a bird, please, for the love of God, please do your research about birds first. Go talk to your local avian vet. Go find a parrot rescue to talk to and answer all your questions. Like, please just be prepared and know that they are so much work, and that you're gonna have to change up your lifestyle if you have one. So just do your research first, and don't ask random people on TikTok where to get birds. That's not cool. I'm not gonna answer it ever. I know a lot of other people on Bird Talk do not answer that for that very reason. Okay, can I suggest good bird resources for training Indian ringnecks? So I got a lot of my training like information for Stella from YouTube, because there's a lot of really awesome creators on here who are actually like people who train birds that can give you that info. So I would suggest searching somebody like that, going to see a local parrot rescue and asking them your questions. They're also really great because they can like familiarize you with birds and teach you like bird body language and how to respond to that, and like you can actually be around birds before getting one. So you can do that. You can go to a local avian vet and ask their questions. I'd also recommend that before you get a bird that you find a local avian vet, because they can be hard to come by. Like, I live in Philadelphia, so there are some around here, but if you live in like a smaller town, there might not be an avian vet, and I really would not suggest getting a bird if you cannot find an avian vet within an hour of you, because birds have emergencies. I've had to take my birds to the emergency vet twice in the 6 years that I've had them, and it's scary, and if that's not around, then that can be really unfortunate for your bird. So look for a local avian vet, ask them questions, ask parrot rescues questions, go on YouTube, find people who know more about birds, things like that, to answer all of your stuff. Okay, another good question somebody asked is, why do you have to use nonstick cookware? Because Teflon and other nonstick cookware, Stella's in the background, other nonstick cookware, when it heats up to a certain temperature, it can leave off chemicals that can actually kill your bird. So that's why you have to use like stainless steel or cast iron. Personally, I love cast iron, so I cook on cast iron for almost anything, and then I have one stainless steel pan that I cook other stuff on. That's just a personal choice, but seriously, do not use nonstick cookware. Also, they have really sensitive respiratory systems, so don't burn candles around them, don't use incense, do not smoke around your birds, stuff like that. Like I said, when you get a bird, you have to go through a lot of lifestyle changes, so if you're not willing to do that, then do not get a bird. Okay, what kind of diet do they eat? I'm gonna be honest, I don't feel like going into this in this YouTube video. It could probably be its own YouTube video, but if you need that question answered right now, go to TikTok, go to the bird info playlist. There's a whole video on there about what they eat. Oh, okay, another good question is, how long do they live for? So both conures and Indian ringnecks can live like 25 to 30 years if they're taken care of properly. So it's a pretty long time. Other birds can live longer. Like, if you're looking for a larger bird, they can live like 60 to 80 years. So just be prepared that when you get a bird, it's more of a commitment than a child. Like, when you have a kid, you care for that kid until they're like 20, 25 maybe, like they're at home if they go to college and stuff. And when you get a bird, it's like having a toddler. Yeah, it's like having a toddler for 30 years. Be prepared. Did you want to say something? Jeff is chill. Okay, there's also lots of people who ask about what words Stella knows. Just scroll through the TikToks. Basically, it's good girl, what you doing, peekaboo, who are you, Morgan, pickle. Stella also says woo at things. I'm probably forgetting some, but Stella says lots of words. There's also people who like demand that I teach Stella new words, like I'm trying. Stella learns words very, very slowly. Like, in the past 2 years, the only word that Stella learned is pickle. And I've been trying to teach him more words. It's just something that is a long process, and he only picks words that he feels like saying. So yes, I'm trying to teach Stella more words. It's basically in Stella's court now to which words Stella wants to actually start saying. So, oh, here's a good one. I answered this really snarkily in one of my other TikToks, but there's somebody on here that says, and I quote, "So I have 5 kids and they all want a bird that they could talk to. My question is, as a first-time bird owner and having that many kids, what's a good choice? A good choice is that you get a dog. Do not get a bird with 5 kids. I cannot foresee that going well for anybody involved. Kids and birds, while they can mix if you have very respectful children, I feel like kids grab at things just because they're kids and they're interested, and that can really traumatize a bird if you do that to a bird. So I don't recommend getting a bird if you have a bunch of kids. Okay, moving on to the TikTok that I posted today asking people if they had any questions. I'm gonna answer some of those on there. Do birds sweat? Not that I'm aware of. Can we collab? I'm really good at screaming. Absolutely. Come hang out. We'll make a YouTube video. What is my dream bird? Jeff is my dream bird. He's an absolute angel, baby potato cupcake, and I love him so much. Does Stella have pants to go with those legs? Yes. Can we call them Gucci pants? The little like feathers that come off of Stella's, like the back of Stella's legs. So yeah, Stella has Gucci pants. Am I okay? That's for another video. I'm doing okay now. I could make a whole like mental health video probably in the future, but I'm doing okay. I'm a paramedic, so that job is very stressful and it's caused a lot of like mental health problems. But I'll do another video explaining more about that. But yes, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Okay, Jeff, I think that's it for a lot of the frequently asked questions. Thank you again for tuning into this video. I'm so sorry for the echo. I will work on it. But I'm gonna hopefully be posting on YouTube, not as frequently as TikTok. I cannot post a YouTube video every day. I have a full-time job and a part-time job, but hopefully I'll be posting on here at least like once a month or something. So come follow me. Maybe I'll do more than that. Hopefully I'm gonna give you guys a plant tour soon and maybe a better tattoo tour. I do have one up on TikTok, but it's very bad. So let me know what kind of content you would like to see on here that is not bird related, because y'all get TikTok for your bird related stuff. I will put more bird stuff on YouTube, just not as frequently. So thank you everyone who's following me on here and on TikTok. I love you guys so much. Thank you for everyone who's like been really respectful and nice to me on the internet, because the internet is a very mean place. And I probably block like 20 people a day on TikTok because people are mean and I'm just not here for it. And I'm also not here for people who are gonna be mean to other people. So, I'm gonna say bye. Jeff doesn't want to step up, but Jeff says bye and thank you for joining. You're such a good boy.